Welcome back. Now what we're going to do here in this video is we're going to walk through a process start to finish. And instead of starting with a client this time, we're going to start from inside of our account. So we're going to come to our Zoom account and we're going to go and click on this area that says My Account, assuming that we are already logged in. So we're going to click on My Account. What we're now going to do is we're going to go to our Meetings area. And it's from there that we can schedule a new meeting. So we're then going to click on Schedule a New Meeting. When we click on Schedule a New Meeting, we are going to give our new meeting a name. And we are going to set a time. We're going to consider the duration of our meeting. We're going to determine that this meeting is not going to be recurring. So this is going to be one time, so we're going to leave this unticked. We are not going to require registration. We just want people to be able to click the link and join the webinar. And so because of that, we don't want to require a password. We don't want to give our attendees anything more to do other than to come. Now in terms of video, what we want to happen is we want our video to be turned on when we enter. So we're going to turn this on. However, we don't want our participants to have their video turned on as they enter, so we're not going to do that by default. The default setting for audio is to have both computer audio and telephone. We're going to leave that as is. We do want our attendees to be able to join before we get there, if that is necessary. So we're going to click on Enable Join Before Host. We also want to mute the participants upon entry. Depending on when they come in, we want to make sure that they do not disrupt the meeting or the webinar. We're going to enable the waiting room for those who come. And we're going to leave this unticked. The default setting is not to have individuals to be authenticated. And we don't need to pre-assign breakout rooms because that's not going to be part of our meeting. Now in terms of recording, we are going to record the meeting automatically. In this case, what we want to do is to record it on our local computer. Now, once we've done that, we're then going to click Save. Now, if we did use any of these calendars, we would add this to our calendar. However, we're going to skip this part and we're going to move forward. Now, what we now have is we now have a URL and an invitation in order to give people to attend the meeting. So what we're going to do here is we're going to copy this URL. And we're going to pass this on to all of the potential attendees that we want to come to the meeting. Now, one thing that Zoom gives us the ability to do is to convert this meeting to a webinar by using this link at the bottom of that is, if we have webinars attached to our account. And we're going to go ahead and do this part. We're going to convert this meeting to a webinar. I'm going to click Convert. Now, you'll notice that we have more options available to us. For example, we can do polls and Q&A on our webinar when we cannot do them inside of the meeting. We can also brand this particular part of our webinar. And we have control over our email settings. So for example, we might brand for this specific webinar. We can upload a banner. We can upload a particular logo for this webinar. And we have a logo there. We can set the post attendee URL. This is going to take people to a specific place after the webinar. So what we're going to do here is we're going to edit this and we're going to write in where we want individuals to go when they have seen the webinar or when they have attended. And we're going to click Save. One of the other options we have available to us in a webinar is that we can post a survey. And if we already have an existing survey in place, we can put that survey here in this area. Now, once we have the webinar set, what we can do is we can click Start this webinar. That's going to open up our Zoom meeting portal. We are now going to join the meeting. And it's from this panel that we can launch our Q&A, our polls, and we can engage in chat with any of the individuals that are going to be on our call. We can share our screen in the meeting, or we can use the whiteboard given to us by Zoom if we want to demonstrate something specific. When we do that, we are sharing our whiteboard with everyone who is on the call. Once we've completed the screen sharing, what we're going to do is click Stop Share. That's going to bring us back to this Zoom room, and we're back in the default setting. What we can do now, of course, is we can end our meeting. We can end the meeting for everyone. And what's going to happen now is that our meeting is going to be converted to our hard drive. Now, we're not saving this to the cloud. We are saving this to our hard drive. So we are going to have to work through a conversion process. We could click Stop Converting if we wanted to. However, we do want this to be recorded, and we do want this to be archived on our hard drive. We are prompted then as to where we want to save this recording. Now, when we go to the directory, we're going to see an MP4 file, we're going to see an M3U file, and we're going to see an M4A file. Obviously, the one that we're going to use is going to be the MP4 file. Now, Zoom will save, because we designated it to do this, audio-only files in a specific area. So we've now walked through an entire process, start to finish, of starting a meeting, converting it to a webinar, and then retrieving our recording. Okay, so with that, thanks, and I will see you in another video.